One of the things that we're really proud of is the solution we put in place for Radius Payment Solutions up in the Northwest, which was to tackle some challenges around being able to get hold of the whole of the IT department to help them really enhance the customer experience, while they of course needed to keep business as usual running. So we needed to be quite creative in terms of getting access to the people and giving them everything that they needed. So for Radius Payment Solutions, customer service excellence is really, really important, both externally and internally. So what they wanted to do was to ensure that internally their IT department were delivering the same best practice standard as they would, Radius Payment Solutions would be doing externally with their customers. And they've got a real broad range of experience and skill level in terms of those customer interactions. So they wanted to bring that to a more consistent level and align that and make it a really, really great standard. So this particular solution, we needed to enable people to feel really bought into the need to change, because they didn't necessarily see a need to change because they were delivering what they thought was a satisfactory customer service experience as it was. So the components that we built around the solution were to help engage them, help them to understand what good needed to look like, and help to bring them into the process of deciding what that should look like for the IT department. So we designed a performance-based learning approach which enabled them to access some really exciting and interesting online bite-sized learning assets first of all, and we got great feedback around the buzz that was created with people talking about some of the things that they'd learned and seen on there. And then we brought them into a workshop, which was a half-day workshop, where we got the learners to actually really think about what best practice should look like for them, get them to build a customer service charter, and get them to think about how they were going to implement that back in the workplace and take ownership for that. So they were really instrumental in making a decision about what good should look like for them. One of the things that we got the customer service team to do, the IT department to do, was to go out to the business, and we gave them an interview sheet to go and sit down with one of their customers and ask them questions about what specifically went on within their team, the impact that had on the wider business, and what they were responsible for. So how the IT service that they were providing really impacted that team and the difference it would make, so that they could come back with a really deeper knowledge around the impact they personally can have in the business. Because we got each of them to do that, they came together and had a really good story and a much better business understanding around really what they do for the business. A couple of reasons. One, certainly they are very techy, so it needed to be contemporary in terms of having a good blend of learning, but they really were struggling. They're an IT department, they support like a help desk, so they have to have the department running while we're trying to train them. So we needed to find a way of getting a really great learning experience that would give them things that they were going to implement back in the workplace, but the time we could have our hands on them face to face was limited. So that's the reason we took the approach, was to make sure that we had a really short burst of face-to-face time to really engage them and get them to understand what the new behaviours needed to look like, with all of these other elements around it. For the Radius business, they really wanted to step up the customer service that they were providing internally. So there were benefits in terms of that experience for their internal people, but also for the team. Their commercial understanding of the impact they have within the business has really grown as well. And they work as a team and are taking ownership for this. So the responsibility isn't just for the managers of the customer service people, but they're taking ownership of this themselves. There weren't any unexpected hitches. But one of the things that worked really well that the client decided to throw in was to put a competitive element into the programme, which seemed to work really well. So the stakeholders suggested, because we needed to take the teams out in two, that each of the teams should come up with a customer service charter, and the best one would win. So that would be presented to the senior team, so that they could then select the one that would be taken forward that the department would work through. The learning outcomes for them are things like how well the team work together, to be able to take these things forward. The best practice charter is now something that they're applying. That's how they're going to set the standards moving forward. And what they've also got now is they've got those standards in place for new starters who will come in and know what's expected of them and know exactly what the bar looks like, and they've got a team of people around them who can support them and coach them, because everybody knows what that should look like. Client's very happy. In fact, some of the quotes that the client gave us just, they make me tingle, because there's such positive feedback in terms of how we've helped them.